Good morning. I'm Marie May from Addison Township Senior Center. We welcome you to Senior Break and
I'm Dawn Medici with Oxford Township Parks and Recreation, and our special guest today is Jennifer Ritz of Volante of Lake Orion. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, it's so great to have you out here today. So can you share with our guests where you're located, what it's all about? But maybe first we should start with tell us about yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Jennifer Ritz. I'm a longtime resident of Lake Orion. I've lived there for 25 years. I have two kids, sophomore in college, or just finished sophomore year in college, junior now, senior in high school. And I have worked in the senior living industry for almost 30 years and just took this opportunity at Volante of Lake Orion at the beginning of the year, and it's been a great fit for me, what I love doing in my hometown.
Yeah, that's great. When you can work in your hometown and love what you do, it's an added bonus. So,
Definitely.
yeah, so great. Well, tell us a little bit about Volante.
Okay, so Volante Senior Living is located on the west side of Lapeer Road, just on the border of Oxford Township and Orion Township. So it's great because we can serve both communities. We've been there for 5 years. We were formerly known as Terraces of Lake Orion, and we were rebranded recently. So all of the communities that are owned by our company are called Volante. So we are Volante of Lake Orion.
Okay.
And we focus on assisted living and memory care.
So how many communities is Volante in currently?
We have 22 communities that span the country. As far as Oregon, a couple in Nevada, Texas, Minnesota, Illinois,
Okay.
Florida,
Yeah.
and then a couple here in Michigan. So we have Volante of Lake Orion in Michigan and Volante of Chesterfield.
Okay. All right.
so what kind of living is it? Do you have to be sickly to get in, or can you?
No. It is a licensed facility, home for the aged. So the age requirement is 55 and up. But you do not. You can just be you might just would like extra support. Maybe it's hard for you to make meals or go to the grocery store, do your housekeeping, that kind of thing. But otherwise, you're pretty independent. We have folks that live with us that just kind of use us for those kind of amenities, if you will. And they also just like to be in a community with like fun things to do and socialization. And then we do have residents who do need some help. Either they have some physical disabilities or cognitive decline, or they need a little extra support. So we come in and provide the individualized support, whatever that would be.
So is it like different sections, or
So our assisted
tell them
living,
what you
yes,
need?
we have two sections to our building. One's assisted living. So that is where our, say, independent-minded residents live. Again, they might need some assistance, but they're pretty independent. They just like to have a lot of fun, be in a community. And then we have a separate part of our building as memory care. That is a secure part of our building that we care for residents with a little more advanced dementia or Alzheimer's disease. Those folks just need more supervision to get through their day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about what if I decide I want to come and be a resident. What do the rooms look like? Like that space that I'm given. What does that look like?
So I think a lot of people are really have a lot of anxiety, or they think they're giving up independence, or they're gonna not have enough space when they move to assisted living. And if you really think about the space that you're using in your own home,
Right.
it's your bedroom, maybe a living room, maybe your kitchen,
Right.
and then your bathroom. And so that's how our rooms are set up, to provide just sort of independence in that space. So we have studio apartments, 1-bedroom apartments, and 2-bedroom apartments.
Okay.
So they're sized to make it for our residents to feel independent in that space. And it really is a lot of room. They can fit. We want them to bring their own furniture, to decorate the way they want to. We have a little kitchenette, so you can have, microwave, there's a refrigerator, a little counter space to like make some snacks or warm up a meal. We do provide all of your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, that's nice.
But we do have a kitchenette for those in-betweens.
So what's the difference between a studio and a 1-bedroom?
So a studio is I call an oversized hotel room, if you
Okay.
will. So
Okay.
it's just one big space.
Okay.
And generally people people will have, their bed, maybe a love seat, a couple lazy boys, maybe a little table and chairs. We have a little computer nook in that space as well.
And the micro, they still get the micro?
Yep, it's
So they
a
get- okay,
kitchenette
so
as
they
well, and then a private bathroom. Private bathroom has an accessible shower with like a shower seat and a shower wands, and it's all very accessible. And what people find is that it's just, it makes it easy for our residents to get around in that space and not feel overwhelmed.
And they really don't need more
They
than that.
really don't.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of get over that. But the one bedrooms do offer like a separate like living room and a separate bedroom
okay.
along with the kitchenette and a bathroom.
Okay.
And then the two bedrooms, of course, have two bedrooms, a living room, and then the kitchen's usually large enough for like a small table and chairs.
Okay.
And then the nice thing about our building is that we have interior apartments that have courtyard access. So probably
That's really
20 of
nice.
our apartments have their own patio. So having that sliding glass door and the extra light and the access to the outdoors right outside their apartment, people really love that, especially in our community where I feel like everyone is more focused on being on the outdoors.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. That's a nice.
And a lot of seniors aren't in the studio apartment every day, a long time.
No.
Because they're out and about,
They
they're
are
active.
They are out and about. I mean, we very few residents that stay in their apartments all day. They're usually, mingling with other residents, using our community spaces, attending our activities. We provide all of our meals in a dining room, which offers a lot of great social interaction. So even just coming breakfast, lunch, and dinner to get out of your apartment is really nice. But you're right, a lot of folks really don't spend much time in their apartment.
Yeah.
They're really out and about in the community, and that's why we're there. The big thing with seniors is isolation. When
Right.
you're living in your own home, you're very isolated. You don't have, and social well-being and social interaction is especially important with seniors. And so, just living in a community offers that benefit of just built-in community.
Right.
So we find that to be actually life. Like it prolongs your life as well, as well. So.
Because if you feel like company, you can have it right away.
Absolutely.
And if you don't feel like company, because sometimes we just want to be by ourselves.
Yeah.
You've got that too.
Absolutely.
So it's a good thing.
And speaking about that, we want people to feel like it's their home. They can come and go as they want to. So residents, you can have a car if you'd like to have a car still. You can come and go as you want. If your family wants to come pick you up and take you out to lunch, if you want to leave for the weekend because you want to go to your cottage, you have that flexibility. As well as when you have visitors, there's no set visitation hours. It is your home. So your family can come and go as they want to visit with you.
That's so nice. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk about a little bit more maybe about the activities that you offer. And
It's important.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Definitely.
yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Welcome back to Senior Break. So Jennifer, we were touching on a little bit about amenities. What other amenities are available to the residents at Volante?
Well, I'll talk about a couple of different things. One is just the community amenities in our building. I mentioned our dining room. We do have a salon in our building, so we have salon services available. We have a movie theater in our building.
Oh, that's nice.
We do have a therapy group. We have a therapy room in our building, so we have in-house therapy for physical, occupational, speech therapy. We have an activity room and a space we use for a variety of things, which I can kind of get into in terms of our activities, which is very important with our residents. So it's super. Kim is our life management coordinator, and I feel like, working with you guys and in your roles, and you see how important it is to provide excellent opportunities for activities for the seniors in your communities. And that's how we feel too about our place. So, I mean, it can range. Every morning is daily exercise, and in the afternoon we do a walk, like an afternoon walk. We provide, the normal things like bingo, but euchre and mahjong, and we have a lot of social, like live entertainment, social hours. We have a lot of community services that come in. So the Orion Township Library comes in once a month and does a program with us and brings us books for our residents to check out. We have
really
different
nice. That's good.
pet therapy groups that come in. Recently, Oxford High School students came over and did an intergenerational activity with us last weekend. So we really draw on the community too to have services come in for our residents. And then the other large component of an assisted living is the wellness. So we do have a full-time nurse on staff. She is full-time on call, and she helps coordinate services for our residents. So we do have visiting physicians. We have visiting like home care companies, hospice, the whole gamut. So she helps coordinate those services.
So if you don't feel good and you're living there, you just call the desk?
Yeah,
maybe,
so
the front?
our residents actually have a pendant, so that they have 24-hour. We have care. That's something I should mention as well. We're staffed 24 hours a day with care team partners, and so if they're not feeling well, we do have a pendant that they can call for immediate attention. But to your point, if if you have a headache or something doesn't feel right, your heart's racing, our nurse, we have staff right there that can come and take your vitals and get in contact
Calm
with
you down, kind
yeah,
of.
calm you down.
And check you out before the next move.
The next move.
Right.
And we do, like I said, we have visiting physicians, so sometimes it's just a tweak of medication. Maybe we needed to have a lab drawn, and all those services can come to us, so you don't have to necessarily go out.
Well, that's really nice.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, if it's something more than what the nurse can care for, do you provide transportation to get them to where they need to go, or do you contact their family members and the family member comes to take them, or could it be both situations?
Yeah, so right now we have plans to add transportation this summer with our own wheelchair accessible bus, but right now we rely on family, we rely on life services, and like NODA, for example, is pretty much at our building several times a day. And then private transportation, but it works out, and that's why it is important for us to add our own transportation. That's really paramount on our things that we want.
Right. Yeah, isn't it? Same for us.
Yeah.
Do you have outside barbecue type things where they all get together?
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, at the end of this month, we're having a summer kickoff for our residents and families. But we do have family events. For example, we had a big Easter celebration. We had Easter Bunny come, and we this Saturday we're having a Derby party for the Kentucky Derby. So we do a lot of events that we invite our family members to come join us as well. But absolutely, like I mentioned, we have a lot of great outdoor spaces. So we like to use those to, of course, in the summertime.
So if a family, I just recently went to a birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
And there were quite a few people. And if you have a studio apartment, is there another room that they can use or rent or
yes, we have a
party?
private dining room, we call it.
Okay.
And that room it's free of charge, of course. It just just let us know that you want to use it, and people can have private parties in that space. Absolutely. And that's the other thing too. There are little living rooms and things set up throughout the community. So when you do have visitors, you're welcome to use those spaces.
I think that's good for seniors to know, because if they got even a 1-bedroom and they're used to having a big 3-bedroom house, they're probably thinking, I won't be able to have my family over anymore. So that's really good that they know that there's a room there,
Right.
that they can just invite their family and say, come on down, and I think that's good.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's really
especially
good.
these little nooks that you were talking about with,
Yes.
for the family to gather to
Yes.
sit and visit, or company to
Right.
sit if you don't want to do it in the comfort of your room. Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I always chuckle when I drive by assisted living communities because I know it's like it's its own little village inside. Like
Right.
it's just it's a little beehive. It's just it's like its own little operation, and there's so much life and joy. And people just whiz by in their cars and don't even realize like
What's
What's going on.
inside.
Right.
It's just this little teeny tiny community, and
Right.
it's just full of life and joy and
That is so cool. It's so cool to see over the years how those types of living facilities have evolved. You know,
Absolutely.
it's changed so
Yeah,
much.
and I think that's paramount when people come into our building. It shows wonderful. It's only 5 years old. It's beautiful. It's tons of natural light.
Yeah.
Very aesthetically beautiful, and people are usually just shocked with like how modern and clean. It smells lovely.
Right.
That those conjurings of what old style nursing homes are, and that was really all we had. We've really evolved over the years, especially of the aging population. It's super important to have these options for our community.
Right. Yeah, it's great.
Because it's not a medical center, it's a living space.
It's
for
100%.
every day, and that makes a difference.
Yeah.
You know, but yet you have the availability of everything, of so many things.
So many things now. Yeah.
And you said they play games and they have activities?
Oh,
and-
yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
I actually called bingo on Monday. It was so fun. It's very, make sure I show, I had a very specific, how I had to do things. But yeah, so, not just bingo. That's kind of a popular one. But,
Right.
and one thing that Volante does, we call it Volante Voyage. So every month is a different theme. And so some of our activities are based on that theme. So this month it's a decade. So we're celebrating the 1920s. So we have like 1920s like decorations and things like that. And then we'll have like 1920s like trivia, or 19 trivia is like a little musical, entertainment. We do a cooking demonstration every month with our chef. And so that cooking demonstration will be based on, say, a recipe, if you will, from say, the 1920s. Next
that's
month,
really cool.
Yeah, actually, we're here. We're in May. So this month in May,
Can you-
we're going to a country, and our country is Cuba.
Okay.
So we will celebrate everything Cuban, from their food to their culture, to decorations, and it was just kind of some of our activities are catered towards those themes, just to kind of add a little spice.
And that's something to look forward to.
Right.
And seniors need to always look forward to something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I
so
do
they
have to,
can-
one more thing, I just remembered, because I was laughing this morning. We had I mentioned the Kentucky Derby party this weekend for our residents. Well, yesterday we had something for our staff. So we made 50, like the big, like derby hats. And so
nice.
our residents were wearing those. And then this morning, there was a couple having breakfast, and the wife had her derby hat on, and her husband I just happened to be walking by. And he's like, "Why do you have that hat on?" She's like, "Well, it's the Kentucky Derby is coming up."
Yeah.
So,
So yeah.
yeah, so fun things like that.
Yeah, it made her feel special and important, and yeah,
Yeah, it
So-
makes a big difference.
it does.
And that you have the room too, the big room for them to meet at.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
that's a big deal. Is that where you have your little parties too?
Yeah,
in that same room?
a couple different spaces. Generally, our bigger social like parties, if you will, we have in our dining room, because we have an area where live entertainment can set up. We also have a separate activity space that is our hub as well. So.
All right, so we have to take another break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the activities and how to get in contact with you.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks. We'll be right back.
My son Ian was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. We had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. They saved him. But then it turned out he had a second cancer. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son and we're gonna beat cancer together. Now he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, of every day being in that hospital, the knowledge that has been accumulated and shared with everyone else around the world. You know, this is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
What is dementia? Is it the same as Alzheimer's? What is vascular dementia, Lewy body, FTD, TBI, and CTE? If someone has memory loss, does that mean they have dementia? Millions of Americans ask these questions every day. I did too, and I learned. My wife Ginny developed dementia. I didn't know what to do or what was coming next. I'm Kevin Jameson, volunteer and president of the Dementia Society of America. I'm excited to offer you a free guide to understanding dementia. It's filled with facts about dementia, care planning, how doctors can help, and ways to keep your brain as healthy as possible. The Dementia Society of America is a national nonprofit, and we're ready to answer your questions. You want to live life to the fullest. I know that. Ginny did too, and I'm confident that we can help. Get your copy of the guide. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
Welcome back to Senior Break. All right, so Kentucky Derby this coming weekend. That's exciting. They're making the Derby hats. What else is up and coming?
Well, we are hosting a lunch and learn for the community as a way to come in and check our community out. And it's Wednesday, May 14th at 12:30. We have a guest speaker coming from Rakowski Law Firm. Leah Brady will be talking about, I'm going to read it off the thing.
Yeah.
She'll be sharing how estate planning can help you protect your family, your assets, and your peace of mind. So a lot of people have concerns about their finances and how does this all work. So she'll kind of come in and just kind of, brush over some topics about estate planning and peace of mind planning for, looking in the future and looking at assisted livings. So there's be a little talk. We'll provide a chef-prepared luncheon for our guests, and then we can take a tour of our community.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So, and do you then periodically offer these lunch and learns or have open houses?
Yeah, so once a month, I generally will host either an open house or a lunch and learn. I'm liking this lunch and learn. I already have 8 people attending, which I think is great.
Right.
So each month I will probably host a lunch and learn and just have a different topic that is of interest to people.
Sure.
I'm probably in June. I'm going to have someone that is trained, can talk about dementia and that kind of thing for families. So that would probably be in June. So this is something I think it's a great way for people to come in and check out our community and leave with some information that's pertinent.
Right, pertinent that they can use to help prepare.
What about their groceries if they don't want to eat there? How do they have to get them, or they can have them delivered, I guess,
so
anymore,
they do,
right?
They all have refrigerators in their kitchenettes. Some of our residents, they're pretty savvy. They DoorDash food. They can have, Kroger delivers, so interestingly, our senior population, they're pretty savvy too with some of those delivery services. But generally, families, rely on families a lot to bring their favorites and their treats and things like that. And again, you are allowed to have a car, so you can,
Get out. And you've got some grocery stores close.
Yeah, too. We're right down the road from Kroger. And
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, very good.
It's really good.
All right. So since we're still talking about meals or food, tell us what does the menu look like? What does the chef prepare? Like, is there certain items that chef prepares for the day, or do they have a menu that they can order off from?
So both. Our food is, I'm not just saying this because I work there, our food is excellent. Our chef, his name is Chef James, he takes his job very seriously. Breakfast is made to order. So if you are fried eggs and bacon in the morning or oatmeal and fresh fruit, it's made to order. There is a menu, but generally people, kind of tend to stick to those same things. Lunch and dinner, we have 2 main entrees that are provided at both meals. And we always have a fresh homemade soup every day and a salad. We do have a general menu, so if the main entrees aren't to your liking, there's a main menu with your normal hamburger, hot dog, or grilled cheese sandwich or something like that, chef salad. So it's very much like a restaurant. And it's served restaurant style, so we have servers we have a staff that just work in our dining room, so it's very service-based, how it's presented. It's fabulous. And that's one thing, that nutrition is super important, because when seniors are living on their own at home, they don't want to go to the grocery store. So they're warming up a can of soup, or they're just eating a row of donuts or something like that. And so it is, having proper nutrition and having it prepared for you can be very life-changing.
Sure. So speaking of that, if I have, let's say I'm vegan, or I have a allergy to milk.
Sure.
Is that can be noted, and chef can prepare accordingly?
So he understands everyone's diet restrictions, so whatever that might be, vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, low salt, diabetic. Sometimes we can also accommodate mechanical soft diets as well, and thickened liquids for people who have swallowing issues. So we're able to accommodate any of those special requests.
And that's good, because they get to know each other.
Absolutely.
So he gets to know what they like, and they get to know what he can
he
say.
generally will introduce himself and just sit down and talk with them about what their likes are. He always, when we have a new resident, he gets information from me about, are there any diet restrictions? So he takes that part of his job very seriously.
What if they want to invite their grandchild or their kids over for dinner to join them? Can they do that?
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah. Well, it's just like at home.
Just like at home.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's all done for you.
Yeah, I know. That's what's amazing about it all. Is it can be done for you.
And also there are things that I'm not sure if I mentioned or not, but in addition to your meals prepared for you, and there's no cleanup in the kitchen, and there's no emptying the dishwasher, there's also no housekeeping. So we do all your weekly housekeeping for you. We do your laundry for you. So really, it's a life of leisure.
Right.
I'm being in a hotel.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're catered.
You are catered to. Yeah. You are catered to. And our staff are great. They are so sweet, very responsive to our residents. So everyone's very well cared for.
Okay.
It's really good. Seniors need seniors. As they grow older, I keep telling my seniors, keep making new friends.
Yeah.
Right.
So there you could make a lot of friends.
Absolutely.
And you can see them or not.
True.
Right. So that makes
and
a
that's
big
the thing.
difference.
It's like you still have your own apartment, and it's your prerogative, and you want to stay in there all day. That's your prerogative, and we want to respect people's dignity for that as well.
Yeah.
So do you do wellness checks though? If let's say Betty Sue is you haven't seen her all day.
Yeah. So we come around at all meals, which is a natural time to check on people. So every single meal, we're gonna come and make sure, hey, it's lunchtime. Let's come on down to lunch. Same thing with activities. Okay. Even if we know that Joe doesn't like bingo at 3 o'clock, we're still gonna say, "Hey, Joe, it's time for bingo." But as well, we have individualized care plans. So if we know somebody needs to be checked on every couple of hours because maybe they're a fall risk, or maybe they need to use the bathroom with assistance, that's part of their care plan. So it's built in that our care team will come by and stop by whatever that time that we've allotted for them.
Right.
So do they check in when they go for breakfast or lunch? How would you know if they were down there?
We because we have a list, and so we kind of check off on who is there. And the residents that haven't come down for lunch or dinner, we can provide a room tray, but that's one of our signal. We have a checklist, so we know who's accounted for, who's not accounted for.
So they're being looked after besides with a medical person.
Yeah. They don't even know it.
That's really a good thing.
Yeah, I say
That's
we have
really
like
a good
eyes and
thing.
ears on everybody, and they don't even know it.
Yeah. That's important.
It is important.
Really important to know.
All right, so we have the Peace of Mind Planning Lunch and Learn again on
May 14th.
May 14th. And what time does that start?
It starts at 12:30, and I am taking registrations for that, so you can call the community, and you can ask for me. I'm Jennifer.
Right. And what would be a good phone number for them to call?
It's 977-6200.
All right. Well, very good. And if they can't make the May 14th date, can they still contact you to set up
100%.
Okay,
Yeah, I
very good.
do individualized tours anytime. I can accommodate evenings and weekends as well, as long as I know ahead of time. So absolutely, we love people coming to visit our community.
All right, well, great. Well, thank you so much,
Thank you,
Jennifer,
good information.
for coming out today. And again, please reach out to Jennifer if you would like to have a guided tour of Volante of Lake Orion. Well, thank you.
Thank you guys so much. It was so much fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All
See
right.
you next time.
All right, see you. Take care.